Now it's time for more of Southern California's sports fishing voice. Let's talk Hookup. Get ready for more of the best fishing information and the hottest tips on improving your angling skills. Let's Talk Hookup is sponsored in part by Yamaha Outboards. Reliability starts here. Ford, the official truck of Let's Talk Hookup. Shimano Rods and Reels. Fish with the best. Shimano. And by Rancho Leonero, where your wildest Baja dreams come true. And now, Southern California's sports fishing voice, the hosts of Let's Talk Hookup, Pete Gray and Rock Cod Rick Maxa.
Welcome back, hour number 2. Let's Talk Hookup on the Mighty 1090. Pete Gray here, Rock Cod Rick Maxa in the Mighty 1090 studios. Happy Memorial Day weekend. The unofficial start of summer is here. And we have Ali from BD Outdoors, fishdope.com, talking fishing here. And, of course, a lot. Ollie's got so many projects. Indeed.
we barely scratched the surface, too, on Fish Dope, too. Like, I want to talk more about Fish Dope because I think that's probably one of the most underutilized services out there. You know, there's so much going on and so much cool stuff to talk about. You're right.
How do you do it all, Ollie?
Man, we got good help. We get overly ambitious and bite off a little more than we can chew. But, I mean, we've just got a great staff. We've got 3 guys in Florida, and I don't even know what we have here, 5 or 6 plus me and Jason. We've got a good crew of guys, and Danny and Jeff kind of pretty much manage Fish Dope, and they do all of that's the heavy lifting. They are on the phone from sun up to
sundown. That's a 724 thing, right?
It is. It never stops. And, that is Jason's department. He kind of manages those guys. Jason's taking phone calls at, 11 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
I am not the guy you call if you're in jail at 2 in the morning because I'm sound asleep.
And not waking up.
Not going to happen.
Sorry, man.
That's just not – that's his department. I'm glad he handles it because that is definitely not my ball of wax.
And then, of course, you have to travel all the time now with Local Knowledge, the TV show.
Yeah, that, and then, just doing the normal business travel as well. A lot of the companies we deal with are in all different places, and then you throw in doing 12 episodes and all that. I spend a lot of time on airplanes, but I've set everything up so a month ago was my last real trip that I got to do. So I get to be home. I want to catch these bluefin, man.
And
I'm fired up.
And you've got a Michelle.
Yeah,
Michelle.
That's what we always say is I make all the promises and she makes sure it happens.
Yeah, for sure. One thing we need to talk about this hour is the Yellowtail Shootout, speaking of Michelle. But in the meantime, we're giving away a great prize.
You're not kidding, man. Having so much fun today. So much great stuff to talk about. And again, if you want to join us, there's 2 ways. Local line, 858-457-1090 or toll free, 877-792-1090. Again, 877-792-1090 or local, 858-457-1090. And we're giving away such a great prize. It's a full AFTCO performance package. It includes the Horizon waterproof fleece, a tactical pair of fishing shorts, and their performance shirt. It's over a $200 value, again, courtesy of our great friends up at AFTCO.
Such great product.
All right, and with that, it's time to find out what is biting out there. It's time for our FishDope.com report, which today is sponsored in part by the Sato Crimp and Winder Company, where they only make products that work. If you want to end connection failures, you need to get that Sato Crimp Kit. It's a must-have piece of gear for your next trip to help you catch everything from school-size tuna to record-size tuna. With all brass crimps and other features, it's better than ever. It's the favorite connection method on the Royal Star, the Royal Polaris, the American Angler, and most of the other top boats. And if you haven't already, you should make it your preferred connection for Spectra de Mono or Spectra de Fluorocarbon. Get it at selected tackle stores like Fisherman's Landing Tackle or at SatoCrimpandWinder.com. And let's start it off with our FishDope.com reporter, the man, Captain Mark Wish of Pacific Edge is on the line. What's up, Mark?
Hey, good morning, Ricky. Good morning, Pete and Allie. Great show, guys.
Thanks, Mark. What's up, Mark?
Here we go, Memorial Day weekend, kind of kicking off our summer season. Looking good out there. We got nice weather, which is really nice because a lot of Memorial Days are not so much. Good fishing as well as some breaking news, which I'll get to in here in just a minute. But that yellowtail fishing all up and down the coast, man, it's been really good this week, all the way from the northern territories up there at Christie's on Santa Cruz. And some of my customers just walloped them, big ones up there, and then all the way to down below the border. And there's a lot of that yellowtail around. Santa Barbara Island, better weather here this week, encouraged a little more coverage, thank goodness. A little bit better signal on that mid-range sized yellow with a few big ones mixed in. At Catalina Island, it is a holiday weekend, and that island will be crowded. There's quite a bit of yellow around front side. Some days it bites, some days it don't. That's just the nature of fishing, of course. bigger fish are backside east as well as backside west. We'll send the bait grounds there, deeper water. Not too much on the sea bass. There's a few around, but seems like most of them schools kind of swam away or just went deep or something. Not biting too much here these last few days there. Still a little bit of squid there, but definitely got a little tougher. Some of the boats are making their bait or at San Clemente Island there. At Clemente, it's been really good fishing on that better grade yellowtail. Some of the fish was up on the backside. The weather got that at the first part of the week, but it's much better now. So when conditions straighten out, that big fish will get back on the bite. There's been some fish on the front side middle, and then there's also been some good fish in the cove as well. There is some squid in the cove there, kind of like right in the middle, right in the stock spot. And so you get some of that yellow on the bait grounds as well as on the structure spots in that area. And as far as fishing that bait grounds, a lot of guys think it's over at daylight. You can continue drifting that after daylight. Just drift through the area, fishing a dropper loop on the bottom, fly line baits up on the top, and work your yo-yo jigs there. We've had good fishing just drifting through the squid grounds there after daylight, after everybody else leaves. And then offshore, here's the breaking news from yesterday. Fish Dope Plain, these guys have, all the good guys working for them for sure, getting all that good information. That they were up flying around yesterday at good visibility yesterday. Saw a lot of big schools of bluefin up above the border. Finally, stuff's pushing up. It's where it's been the last couple of years at this time. Hopefully, it stays in that 181, 182, 289 sector. It's holding some volume, man. That guy saw some good schools yesterday. So let's hope they stick around and start to bite. And then from down below in that more traditional zone, a lot of bluefin in that 371 to the 425 area. That's where most of the guys have been fishing. There's a lot of fish there, not always biting all that good, but definitely around. But get this, one of our customers, he was in yesterday. They just got back from the far eastern zone, east of the 425, about 10 miles, fishing all by themselves. And they were strictly fishing for big ones. He was strictly flying the kite. They had 3 blow-ups on mackerel. They hooked a giant and broke the leader at gaff after 4.5 hours on like one of them 200-pounders. So there is quite a bit of that big fish in an area that's really not being looked at now. I'm sure you're not paying too much attention to that. So, yeah, it's getting really interesting, guys. We got nice weather and lots of time here for the holiday weekend. It's time to go fishing, guys.
No kidding. And, of course, Danny at fishdope.com has all the information for you right there. $20 off a new membership to fishdope.com. Come on, guys. You don't have it, whether you fish on a sport boat or a private boat, you got to have it. You keep in touch with the weather, keep in touch with the fishing, what's going on, what you need to bring on that sport boat or your own boat. Fishdope.com is your source. Hookup now, lowercase, no space. Hookup now is the code. And Mark Wish, how do we find you?
Pete, we're in Huntington Beach, corner of Bolsa Chica and Edinger by the big Chevron station. The phone number at the store is area code 714-840-4262. The website, PacificEdgeTackle.com. And stop on by sometime after today because I'm going fishing here for a couple of days.
Attaboy. All right. Have fun, Mark. Appreciate the report, and we'll talk to you next Saturday.
Sounds good. You got it. We'll see you.
All right. Thanks a lot.
All right. Let's continue with the catch report. Head on down to San Diego, over to Seaforth Sport Fishing. Talk to our buddy Marcos. Marcos, what's going on at Seaforth?
Good morning, guys. How you doing today?
Doing great.
I think he's got a good overview of the fishing in general there. Those half-day trips, early in the week, they're still catching some calico bass. Conditions changed a bit. They're still catching very good bottom fishing. Picking away some of the bass, slowed down a little bit, but overall some very nice weather there. The 3-quarter day trips, Ryan and crew going out there, still seeing bluefin, yellowfin, some yellowtail on there. And actually yesterday, one of their yellowfin was one of their bluefin was 177 pounds, combo on a regular. So
unbelievable.
Heck of a fish there, and they had, 4 of them. I believe 3 of them were over 100 pounds, 50-pound yellowfin, some yellowtail in the mix there. So good fishing overall there, and it's about what you'd expect from that bluefin fishing. There's going to be some great days, some tougher days.
3-quarter day, no big deal.
And absolutely, like we've talked about before, 5 years ago, we've been saying, they only caught, a few 100-pound bluefin on a 3-quarter day. People have been like, yeah, you're crazy. But
was that a Shimano flatfall fish?
I am not positive on that. I believe so. I know Ronnie was set up there, a regular cutter, he is set up for that. And I know this morning the Tribute called in, and they had a big bluefin on there. There were 1 fish this morning, and that was on a flatfall. So very good fishing on those guys there. Lots of options on that. 3-quarter day trip, and Ryan and crew's going to be running every day they can here. So as long as you guys want to go out, he's going to go out there and keep looking for those bluefin and yellowfin as long as they're there. The overnight trips, like I said, the Tribute, same thing. They're catching a lot of nice mix of bluefin, yellowtail, some bonito in the mix here, occasional yellowfin. So lots of good options. I mean, we're we're in the end of May here going into June. It's about what you'd expect. Some good tuna fishing, some nice yellowtail in the mix there. Hopefully we'll get back to that calico bass also. Twilight trip's going out, and hopefully they're going to get into that also. They're starting a bit more consistently here. So definitely check the website, seaforthlanding.com. Full schedule's up there for those half days, 3/4 days, 1 days. Outer Limits is actually out on a day and a half tonight, and we'll probably start seeing a few more of those in the schedules here as the season goes on. Twilight trips. Make reservations on there. Give us a call at the office, 619-224-3383. Always come down, visit us in person, check out the best tackle shop in San Diego, and get a Rock Hard Rick breakfast burrito.
Yeah.
Sounds good to me, bro.
Unbelievable. Here we are, Memorial Day weekend, the kickoff of summer, and it's happening.
A little busy there this morning for Memorial Day weekend, Marcos?
Surprisingly, the 3/4 day was a bit light. They only had in the 30s there, but the half day had 55 people or 54 people on there, so about what you'd expect. And, still plenty of room. So, if you don't have plans for the weekend, you got some people visiting, you want to come down, definitely come down. There's still room right now.
Good call, as always, Marcos. Great job, great report. Sounds like there's some still fantastic fishing going on at Seaforth, and look forward to see what next week brings.
Well, I'll talk to you then, guys.
Thanks, Marcos.
Thanks. Rick Jensen, Sport Fishing Financial with the Northern Baja Report. What's up, Rick?
Hey, good morning, guys.
Hey, how are you, Rick?
What's up, Rick?
Let's start down in Mulahay, where the yellowtail are still around in the deeper water. Rooster fishing in the bay has slowed down a bit, but there's still a few around. Cabria and snapper are at the point on bait in the deeper water, and a little further south there towards Laredo, they've been spotting some orcas, and the marlin are starting to move up to that area, so that's good news for you next week, or this weekend coming up, Pete. Up at San Bruno, a little further north, good numbers of cabria and a few snapper around. Got a call from Jeff at Cedros Kayak yesterday afternoon, and after the short flight down there, he was already into a strong calico bite. Looked like the yellowtail had slowed down a little last week. Further Bay of LA on the other side, the yellowtail and cabria fishing's been good. There's some white sea bass around. San Quintin, been a little slow, colder water, a few rockfish and some lings, and not a whole lot going on in the yellowtail. The Corvina been showing up a little bit in the bay, so that's an option with a few halibut here and there. Ensenada, yellowtail numbers are on the rise, and then a report from the Pesca La Baja Pesca La Baja tournament in San Felipe. The tournament as a whole was a little on the slower side for numbers of fish, lots of anglers out there, and the fishing included some 70, 80-pound grouper, a few snappers, some yellowtail. The cabria were there, the Sierra, the Corvina, white sea bass, halibut. So good varieties of fish and good numbers of people for the tournament. The next stop for the Pesca La Baja will be Gonzaga Bay, June 16th and 17th.
Fantastic.
Awesome, Rick.
Great stuff there, Rick. And looking forward to our trip to Loretto next weekend. You'll be picking me up and heading down to Rancho Leonero for our Let's Talk Hookup tournament right after the show next Saturday. We're looking forward to that. And in the meantime, if somebody wants to talk fishing and finances, Rick does a great job for a lot of us in the sport fishing industry, and he can do a good job for you. How do we get a hold of you, Rick?
Well, we're taking a little time out for the trip down there and working our way back up. So out of the office to reach me starting Wednesday for a couple of weeks, but you can find us on the web at sportfishingfinancial.com or give me a call at 949-481-1807.
All right. Thanks. Safe travels. We'll see you in Loretto next Saturday.
We'll see you there.
See you,
Have a
Rick.
good day, guys.
Thanks a lot. Captain Tim Ekstrom from the Royal Star. What's up, Tim?
Finally, I get through to you guys. We had connection problems out on the annual Let's Talk Hookup trip, but in the end, guys, we didn't have a whole lot to report about the fishing, man. We had a rough go of it down there. We definitely showed up when the light switch turned off, so we scratched out a trip. We made a good adventure of it. Everything that was in our control was darn good. The boys were hopping and again, we made the most out of the opportunities we had. The weather was good. So overall, it was a good trip, but the fish god definitely did not smile upon us. It sounds like now down below the things are getting rolling again. Boy, the guys on the XL are doing great. So fortunately, it came back around. But, in the present here, guys, the boat's out on a 3-day right now, our annual Memorial 3-day with Captain Paul Carameo running it. And I know those guys are looking at bluefin. They saw it yesterday afternoon, had a few shots, and they're looking at it again. The whole fleet is there today. But I wanted to call and let everybody know, we've been promoting these day-and-a-half trips that we have coming up next week. The first one is the Friday through Sunday, the 2nd through the 4th. The next one is the 4th through the 6th. There's another one at the end of the week, the 8th through the 10th. And all of those trips right now have a little bit of room on them. If anybody wants to jump on, it's a great opportunity. These are likely to be the only day-and-a-halfs we have available on Royal Star this season. So great opportunity. They're all-inclusive trips. Everything is in there. Food, permits, visas, everything. Everything's in the price. And again, I know we have some opportunities coming up this following weekend. And with what's going on with this bluefin offshore, the amount of it that's around, what a great opportunity to come out and get in long-range style fishing on a day-and-a-half trip.
No kidding, Tim. I mean, that day-and-a-half trip on the Royal Star, limited 24 anglers. You get the gourmet food, the gourmet deck bosses, everything about the Royal Star is gourmet. And man, I'm trying to figure out how I can get on one of those.
Right.
Man. That's like the ultimate in day-and-a-half to go on the Royal Star. And like you say, only 3 opportunities all year to do it. I saw it on the Royal Star website, royalstarsportfishing.com. You can book right online, right?
Yeah, exactly. Go on there, or you can give us a call in the office during the week. All Monday through Friday. Tracy will be in there. I know Brian, Randy, and I are available. We're around all next week while the boat's in. They've just got a few more days at the dock here this season, get her spruced up and prepared for the summer season to come. But again, it's a phenomenal opportunity, and the idea behind it, we love the chance to run these shorter trips, these impromptu shorter trips. It gives us the opportunity to introduce not just our boat, but our style of fishing to hopefully some new prospective long-range anglers, and that's exactly what we're going to do. Whoever's on those voyages is going to get the first-class long-range experience. We're going to run it just like we would any other trip, a 5-day, a 10-day, whatever. So it gives everybody an opportunity to see exactly what long-range fishing is about. And again, that's from beginning to end. Like you guys said, the quality of the crew, the quality of the service. I'm hoping like heck the quality of the fishing because, man, there's some opportunities out there.
Unbelievable.
The amount of bluefin, I think it's likely that you guys have heard the spotter plane reports, but these have been going on for a month. I mean, Tom Green, who we're working with, he's just a phenomenal guy. He's been around forever, and no one on this coast knows his stuff like Tom. And he's talking about seeing signs of bluefin that it's as good as, if not the best sign of bluefin he's seen in his life. I mean, just incredible amounts of bluefin out there, all of which is available, and you're talking from right out here in front down to 150 miles. It's just the perfect range. So if those conditions are right for it, the opportunity is going to be there. I don't think this bluefin's going to go anywhere. It seems like they're settled in, they're happy, and, it speaks to a darn good season. And one other thing I did want to mention also, a couple of spots opened up on our June 10th through 17th. It's a Saturday to Saturday 7-day. And that trip, just so everybody knows, we've got it queued up to go to Guadalupe Island. We've got, the authorization in hand, so we will be fishing Guadalupe, or we're planning on fishing Guadalupe on both our upcoming 7 days and the first 8 day in June and early July. Just the fact that those couple of spots opened up, that's a great opportunity if somebody not only wants to take advantage of this bluefin, but gets a shot out there at Guadalupe. I wanted that to go down the pike. Anyway, you guys, I'm looking forward to a great season here. We missed you on the last trip, Pete. It's always a pleasure to be out there fishing with you, but I'm gonna hold you to it. You made me go on this trip this year, so
that's right.
I'm telling you, you're going on the one next year. You and I both.
All right, sounds like a plan, Tim. Sure appreciate that. And day-and-a-half opportunities. That 7-day to Guadalupe. RoyalStarSportFishing.com is the spot. Tim, thanks a lot for the call this morning, and we'll talk to you real soon.
Thanks, Tim.
Thank you, guys. Good morning.
All right, very good. Speaking of which, I want to mention, too, that Sean Sebring from Fisherman's Processing will be on the show tomorrow. All that fish on the Royal Star will be going down in their incredible RSW holds, and then you can take it to Fisherman's Processing and have Sean and the gang process it. None better. So tomorrow morning, 7 to 9 a.m., talking all kinds of fish and fish processing with Sean from Fisherman's Processing.
You got it. Well, that's going to wrap up our catch report today, including that bonus from the Royal Star. And again, it's sponsored in part by Dana Landing on Mission Bay, your true one-stop shop for everything that you need to go fishing. Dana Landing has the most complete saltwater tackle shop, a full deli. They offer Mexican and California licenses. They do trips and six-pack charters, And when it comes to freshwater tackle, check out East County Bait and Tackle, full of all the freshwater tackle and live bait that you need for a great day on the lake. Dana Landing is right across from SeaWorld next to the Dana Lawn Tramp in Mission Bay. And East County Bait and Tackle, they're at the end of the 67 freeway at Mapleview and Lakeside. Check out DanaLanding.com.
All right. Hey, let's talk about the BD Outdoors Yellowtail Shootout. That is such a great event.
Yeah, that's the other thing, kind of kicks off the season in my mind. You know, it's sort of this Memorial Day thing, and then the Yellowtail Shootout. And like we were saying, the water, man, so far this spring, usually by like Fred Hall, San Diego, we're down there in the flats chasing yellowtail. It just hasn't set up.
Yeah.
But I think our timing's really good. I mean, that volume that we've been seeing, and I mean, a 49-pound fish.
Oh, my gosh.
This could be one for the record books, man. There's some big fish around. There's a lot of fish around. We've also, something new we're doing this year is the guys at OEX got us to put in a kayak division.
Very nice.
So kayak guys are welcome to fish as well. They've got their own separate division, so they don't have to worry about competing with the boat guys or the boat guys. Yeah, we kind of broke them out to the side, but everybody's invited to the party on Sunday. And that's going to be, the sign-up will be at Dana Landing on the 23rd of June. The guys will fish on the 24th, and then we'll do the banquet at Marina Village on the 25th.
Okay.
So you can, if you fish a tournament, you're going to get an entry to the banquet. If you want to come down, hang out, eat some good barbecue, we're going to have Traeger is going to be there. They're going to be serving up, I think, some pulled pork and tri-tip or something.
Wow.
Barbecue. Awesome. Yeah, it should be a good time. You know, we got the CCAs there handling the liquor for us, so they'll be pouring some Ballast Point beer, and it's a really good time for everybody. And you know, one of the things with the tournament we try to do is make sure just for entering the tournament in your angler bag, you pretty much get a return on what you put in.
How much does it cost to get in?
It's $325 for a team of 3. I think the kayak.
The whole team.
The whole team. Yep. So it's about $100 a head, and you're going to get, you know, a T-shirt from us, a hat from AFCO. Costa threw in a hat for everybody. We got a ton of swag. I know Yeti's kicking in a bunch of stuff. You're going to basically get your value right in the bag.
The swag bag.
Plus you get the party, and you got the opportunity to win some real cash. You know, we're saying we got $50,000 in cash and prizes this year.
$50,000.
There's some real cake in it, man.
Wow.
It's for as far as a money tournament goes. You know, in our Southern California area, now that the Marlin tournaments aren't having more, I don't think there's anywhere you can win more money.
No
and
way.
It's all about yellowtail. So how's it work?
It's easy, man. There's basically two different divisions to win in biggest fish overall, and then there's also you will weigh 5 of your fish, and then it's the biggest 3 fish bag.
Wow.
So biggest single fish or biggest 3 fish, and it's pretty straightforward.
All yellowtail.
All yellowtail.
Sweet.
We are actually going to do a tuna jackpot because the tuna are around this year. So Boat US San Diego, he's guaranteeing $2,500 in the tuna jackpot.
Wow.
Oh,
the largest
cool.
tuna.
Yeah, I think for largest tuna and any species. I mean, some of these yellowfin, holy smokes.
Sure.
I mean, the last couple of days we've had 50, 60, 70-pound yellowfin as well. So, you know, you won't have to drive away from those yellows or those bluefin out there while you're looking for yellowtail. You can fish both of them and win some serious money on both sides.
Now, you said the kayak division, how much is that to get in?
I think it's $80, but
That's
don't
it?
quote me. Yeah,
Wow.
this is where
And you
Michelle
still have
comes in.
big money in cash and prizes.
Yeah, OEX is kicking in a bunch of cool kayak prizes. They helped us raise a bunch of stuff. So yeah, I mean, for a kayak guy, I think it's a no-brainer as well.
Michelle's telling me there's all kinds of like cool side things too that are just bonus for your fishing. If you're fishing with a Tranks reel and you happen to win money, there's an extra cash prize. If you have a Parker boat and you win, there's a Parker kicking in. There's all kinds of really cool. Call them free monies just for fishing the tournament. You get lucky enough to catch one of the better fish, and you have all of these different divisions, and it's all explained really well on the website.
So Kevin at West Coast, if you're fishing on a Parker boat,
I think he kicked in $500.
An extra
for
$500
for the biggest fish caught. I believe. Don't quote me on this.
Right.
Biggest fish caught from a Parker, I think, is $500.
And the Shimano Tranks.
Shimano Tranks, yeah. Robbie and those boys kicked in some cash for that as well. So if you have a Tranks on the boat, you have an opportunity to get the optional Tranks bonus money. And all the details are at yellowtailshootout.com. Don't hold me to it, obviously. It's way too early.
No, it's a great website, yellowtailshootout.com.
Yep. You can register there.
You can register right online?
Do it right online. Super painless. And like I said, we always have a good time. We got people that come back every year. I mean, we see the same faces. It's just it's a good way to spend a weekend.
Yeah.
It's a week after Father's Day, so I think there's a little negotiating with some of the dads there saying, hey, I'll be around on Sunday, but then next weekend I'm going to go fishing.
Yeah. Like Traeger's giving away a couple of grills.
Yeah, we got a couple. Dude, our office is a nightmare right now. We've got these giant Traeger grills. Yeti's sending us a huge stack of coolers. The guys from Canyon Coolers are coming out. I would even say, this has got to be the best prize package year. Costa gives us a ton of stuff to give away. AFCO's always given us a ton of stuff. I mean, we've got some great partners. There's a lot of cash. It's gonna be a good time for sure.
The West Coast thing is all those who own a Parker boat and are fishing in the Yellowtail Shootout. The largest yellowtail caught on a Parker boat gets an extra $500. You don't have to pay any money into it. If you've got a Parker boat, you're in it already. And if that fish happens to the biggest of anybody, so if you got a Parker, you're already in it. You don't have to win the tournament. You just have to have the biggest one of anybody in a Parker. Extra $500 cash.
Sweet. There you go. And I think the Tranks bonus was, I want to say it was a couple of grand. I mean,
really?
Yeah.
So if you have a Tranks, you don't even have to catch the fish on the Tranks?
Don't hold me to the rules. Read the rules. They're there for a reason. But
right. But you should catch the fish on the Tranks.
It's a great reel, and I know they've sold a ton of them, in recent years. But if you're thinking about getting one, here's a real reason to go out and grab one. You got a chance to win some real cash.
No doubt.
No kidding. YellowtailShootout.com for more information. Great event by BD Outdoors.
All right. Hey, when we come back, we got a lot more Let's Talk Hookup coming your way. More of your phone calls, more great information. You stay tuned. It's Let's Talk Hookup on the Mighty 1090.
Inland Boat Center is the destination for your next boat. They've been around 35 years, so they're here to stay with something for everyone. Inland Boat Center has a giant inventory of all types of boats, including the perfect saltwater fishing boats made by Arima and Defiance. Inland Boat Center has a huge 2.5-acre indoor showroom with over 300 new and pre-owned boats, making them the largest boat store on the West Coast. Family owned and operated, they are proud of their customer service. They take trades of all types. Come check out their inventory of Defiance boats from 20 to 29 feet, or the fantastic selection of the amazing Arima boats from 17 to 21 feet. Inland Boat Center has a full service department, fiberglass repair and upholstery department. Everything you need is under one roof at Inland Boat Center, 681 East San Jacinto in Paris. Check the website for the current inventory and more at inlandboatcenter.com.
This is Rick Jensen with Sport Fishing Financial. I think most of you get that I'm a fisherman and work with the fishing community, but to understand exactly what Sport Fishing Financial does, ask yourself these 4 questions. First, do you really know how much money you'll need in order to retire comfortably? Next, do you know how much you'll have to save on a regular basis to reach that number? Do you have a process that includes a proven investment strategy and confidence that the money you save will grow? Last, do you have a plan for how to turn your savings into retirement income? If you don't have good answers to these questions, you're not alone. But you should, and I can make sure you do. In addition, if you own a business and currently provide or are planning on providing a retirement savings plan for yourself or your employees, we should really talk. We offer an outstanding variety of creative solutions that are sure to meet your needs.
Some of our listeners may feel overwhelmed. Others may believe they are already doing the best they can. In either case, I bet Rick can help. Set a time to meet with him and start planning for your personal or business investment success. Find Rick on the web at sportfishingfinancial.com or give him a call at 949-481-1807. Alaska's Katmai Lodge is a world-class wilderness fishing paradise on the banks of the famed Alagnak River. You'll fish for all 5 species of Pacific salmon, king, sockeye, chum, coho, and on even years, pinks, plus trophy-sized rainbow trout, Arctic grayling, and Dolly Varden, both in the Alagnak and the nearby waters. Katmai Lodge's U.S. Coast Guard and CPR certified guides are fishing fanatics and know how to help you reel them in. They are exceptional teachers and ensure you have days that are fish-filled and fun with freshly prepared snacks and barbecued lunches on the river. Back at the lodge, there are fireside appetizers and refreshments each afternoon, as well as fresh, delicious meals prepared by their exceptional chef. Elevate your visit with a quick fly-out trip to Brooks Falls in Katmai National Park for world-renowned bear watching. For the best fishing adventure ever, visit katmai.com. That's KATMAI.com.
Turner's Outdoorsman, Southern California's #1 shooting, hunting, and fishing tackle retailer since 1971, is right in your neighborhood. Now 18 stores throughout Southern California and 3 in San Diego County. Turner's Outdoorsman brings you the best prices and selection, plus a knowledgeable staff that will help make your day on the water or in the field more fun. Stop by your neighborhood Turner's Outdoorsman. To find the location nearest you, check the web at turners.com and sign up for special deals and more.
I got a garage full of fishing tackle, and every time I get out on the water, I realize I forgot something important. but I never forget my life jacket. I make sure my buddies wear theirs, too. Save the ones you love. A message from California State Parks Division of Boating and Waterways.
For East Cape fishing, Jen Wren is known as the best. This is Mark Rayer. Great service, top quality equipment, including all accurate reels, CalStar rods, and Cimarron Electronics, has put my immaculately maintained twin-engine cruisers in a class of their own. For memories of a lifetime, just bring your hat and sunglasses, and we'll provide a fishing experience that will exceed your expectations. Our calendar's filling fast, so don't miss out. For packages, 2 live webcams, a weekly fishery report, and more, check out TeamJenRen.com. We pick up at all East Cape resorts, so let's go fishing.
XEPRS 1090 AM, Rosarito, Baja California.
The best Major League Baseball coverage is right here.
Deep and very gone. A blast to left field.
San Diego's sports leader, the mighty 1090.
Welcome back to Let's Talk Hookup on the mighty 1090.
Hey, let's go jump into those jam-packed phone lines. They want to talk to Ali.
Jam-packed, they definitely are. Let's talk to Don. Don's calling us from Dana Point this morning. Good morning, Don. Welcome to Let's Talk Hookup.
Hey, gentlemen, how you doing this morning? I actually got 2 questions. One, down along the coast down here, we've got a lot of the quote-unquote juvenile great white. And do you think that's going to have any impact on our local fishing? And the other question is for kind of geared toward Rick. I'm looking at putting together a jig rod, and I wonder what you'd recommend for a rod and reel.
White sharks.
Ali?
Dude, I don't
fishing,
know. People are like,
sea lions.
they've always been here like that. No, they haven't. Like, we would have seen, I mean, there's so many of them. I was trying to explain this to a buddy the other day. I'd seen, prior to this year, 3. My whole life, I'd seen 3 of them, and a lot of days on the water, Something's different. I don't think that's going to affect fishing in any way. They're in there shallow. I think the reason they're in shallow is when those juvenile fish, they like to eat stingrays and sand sharks and stuff like that. And I think that's why they're in there. And when they get bigger, then they head offshore. But I don't think it's going to affect us.
I've never seen a great white in the water.
I never have.
In my whole life. I've never.
Oh, no, I take that back.
Been to Guadalupe,
I've swam with them at Guadalupe, but I'm talking locally here.
Well, back in the day when I fished Guadalupe, which it's been several years, and and then my trips got longer. I haven't been to Guadalupe when the white shark was a thing. I've literally never got to see one ever before.
Pretty awesome.
Yeah,
feature.
It's awesome.
Oh, they're
Very
totally awesome. Yeah. Would I go surfing there? I am not afraid of sharks at all. They don't bother me, but that's there's so many of them right now. It's like looking for something to go wrong.
Yeah, I don't think I'd go in San Clemente or San Rafael, but I have no problem surfing locally.
Yeah, no, I never even think about it. Jumping in on a kelp offshore.
But they live here too.
We have them. There's no. I mean, what's going on up there? That whole Trestles area. I don't.
Something in that area they like
for sure.
I know there was pictures of one that was caught and and obviously let go. Incidentally caught on the Rosarita Beach Pier. I mean, it's not like that's the only spot that they're. Same deal. One of those 8-footers or something, but pictures of things down in the water with a hook in his mouth. They're certainly around, those little ones up and down the beach, but for whatever reason there's a concentration of those things right there.
Pretty cool. Get big and eat sea lions.
Exactly.
Yeah, come on.
So did you see speaking of wild animals, the national coverage of that sea lion that dragged that girl into the water?
Oh yeah,
that's great. Love seeing that because get a clue. These things are wild animals, and they need to be controlled.
I can't even begin to tell you the amount that video pissed me off. I just don't even have the words to describe. I hate those.
And
things
there's
so
no
much.
logic to it, right? If you're up in the Sierras, you're Mammoth or wherever, and somebody gets bit by a bear, what's the first thing that's going to happen?
They're going to kill that bear.
No question, right?
Yeah.
Mountain lion, it doesn't matter what it is.
A dog, like somebody's, nasty dog drags a girl over the fence.
It's done.
See ya.
But because it's a sea lion and because of that marine mammal protection, it just doesn't make any sense. That one in Mission Bay is going to kill somebody.
Yeah, no doubt.
It is absolutely going to kill somebody, and even at that point, literally the thing could drown somebody while you watch it, and they won't do anything about it. It's
nothing to do.
Not right.
Well, hopefully that national coverage gave a clue to somebody. But of course, then the greenies get on it and go, oh well, they were interrupting the natural by feeding it. It's like, give me a break. Anyway, let's talk about that. Okay, let's talk about the jig rod.
Right, jig rod. Lots of great options out there, and I always say the best thing to do is just to come into a tackle store in your area that's got a lot of that kind of stuff. I mean, if you're asking me, the very best surface iron reel, money is absolutely no object, is a Trinidad 20A. I think that's the Ferrari of the the surface iron casting reels. A really, really good option also a little higher budgeted reels at Tranks 500. That's probably the easiest casting on a guy. It's
cast control,
level wind, variable brake system. It's a very, very forgiving reel for casting if you don't spend your whole time doing it. A really good jig casting reel for not a ton of dough is that Torium 20 HG. Almost the same performance, not quite as you're going to find out of Trinidad, but extremely close for a reel that's under $250. So as far as reels, those would be my three favorites. Rods, I like a Terramar 90H is a good one. Probably one of my favorites is a CalStar. For all around everything, the GG90J, it's a 9-foot rod. You could still catch a calico bass, but also catch a 100-pound tuna in it. Cast a full-size lure really good. But there's a ton of really good options, and it just depends a little bit on a guy. I always think go into a tackle store that's got a lot of depth in that type of stuff and talk to a guy that's really into it, and they're going to figure out the type of fishing you do because it's going to vary. You want a different jig rod if you're fishing all of your time is on the Liberty going three-quarter day fishing, or if it's all on a skiff, or if you're fishing on Ollie's boat. And the different rods do different things. If you're on a skiff, I like a rod that's got a little bit faster, maybe a little graphite. I fish that CalStar 100 mag because I'm not being able to take a full step into the rod in a really slow, long casting rod. It's just, you'd build the perfect jig stick for the type of fishing that you do the most of, and Good Shop is going to be able to figure out what that type of fishing is and dial you in that way.
Yeah.
And borrow your buddies. I mean, that's what I tell people when they're asking me the same thing. It's like, try a few, because everybody throws it different, too,
Sure.
And I'm with Rick. I like a little bit stiffer rod. I fish on a smaller boat, generally. I don't have all that room. I can't really lean into it. And I like to be able to throw a high, cast, a sidearm cast, a bullet. And when you've got a little bit stiffer rod, the 90J, that was the jig stick everybody grew up with. It doesn't let you do all that stuff that some of these new, more modern rods, I mean, it's amazing what these things will do.
Yeah, for sure. And Jeff from One Cool Tuna came by the broadcast last Saturday at Encinitas Ford and showed us his new design of his surface iron, which is a great surface iron. Yeah. You can't call it the Z-bar anymore, but that's kind of what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same.
But he redesigned a little bit and made some good improvements. So that was a hot
exciting.
jig.
Yeah,
that was a hot jig last year.
Oh,
great
that thing's
lure last
cheating,
year.
man.
Yeah.
It doesn't even feel right. It swims so perfect.
Yeah. So good for Jeff. Hey, thanks a lot for the phone call this morning.
All right, let's jump right back into him and talk to Tom. He's calling us from San Diego this morning. Hi, Tom. Welcome to Let's Talk Hookup.
Hey, guys. How you doing?
What's up, Tom?
Great.
Yeah, I'll tell you a little story. My brother back in the 70s worked on tuna seiners. He was on a 1,200-ton seiner they had a helicopter to go out, and look for the fish. So the helicopter would herd the porpoise toward the nets. Then they use these concussion bombs they throw in the water. So the captain and the pilot were up there over the water doing that, and everybody looks up and the engine quit on the helicopter.
Ooh.
The helicopter just slammed into the water like a rock. And the pilot and the captain had fused spines. So the speedboats raced over to him and got him out of the helicopter because they were paralyzed. And they found out later that somebody on the boat, when they were transferring fuel from the boat to the helicopter tanks, had pumped water with it. So when the helicopter got down to the water in its own tanks, of course, water doesn't burn, so the engine quit. Nobody knew that was going to happen.
That guy was in trouble.
That's no fun.
Yeah, it's dangerous stuff. You ever think about that when you're out flying around out in the middle of the ocean?
Man,
with no place to land?
I'm like, all of the airplanes that I get to fly are old. And if they haven't crashed by now, I feel pretty good about them, honestly.
That's a really good way to look at it.
And when you do get your pilot's license, there's so many checks and rechecks. Like, we test the fuel every single time I fly. I take a sample. If there was water in there, I'd see it. So there's so many checks and balances in place. You can die anywhere. You can die in your truck driving down the highway.
No doubt about it.
To me, you know what I mean? The freedom it affords you, it's totally worth it.
Yeah.
And it's cool, man. Not
cool.
Not too many people can take an airplane off the ground and bring it back all in one piece.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh,
I really
awesome.
enjoy it.
Yeah, it's really fun. Hey, thanks for the story, Tom. Appreciate the call this morning.
How about we talk to Rob? He's calling us from Pacific Beach this morning. Hi, Rob. Welcome to Let's Talk
Morning,
Hookup.
Rob.
Morning, guys.
What's up, Rob?
Yeah. My question is, if I want to go on a cattle boat and I want to go into Mexican waters and I don't have a passport, can I get a one-day visa or pass to go into Mexican waters and go fishing out there?
We don't have cattle boats. We have sport fishing boats here. But if you're fishing offshore now, you do not need a passport.
Yeah, correct.
Okay.
Yeah, beyond 12 miles past the Coronal Islands, or 12 miles offshore, 12 miles off an island, you do not need to have a passport, and you do not need to have an FMM. If you're going to be fishing the Coronal Islands, you're fishing closer to the beach for yellowtail, to obtain an FMM, which is a tourist visa, you must have a passport.
Yeah. So no, there is no one-day
correct
free passport. Just get one.
Yeah.
They're easy to
Go
get.
get a
You
passport.
apply online. You go down to the office. If you want one immediately, they'll make an appointment for you, and you just go down to the passport office right there in downtown. It's an easy process and something everybody should have.
It's not going away. Get a passport.
But if you want to go fish bluefin tuna, like Ricky says, and it's down in Mexican waters, no passport required right now. But just call the landing, and when you get on that sport boat, they'll tell you whether you need one or not. Thanks a lot for the call this morning.
All right. How about next up we talk to Tom, calling from Temecula. Hi, Tom. Welcome to Let's Talk Hookup.
Morning, guys. A couple quick questions. Last year, this year is kind of mimicking last year a little bit with the bluefin. It took a while for them to settle in and really start eating bait and the flatfalls more aggressively than they are right now. Is that a product of the fish getting up into the area here and just settling in? And then my other quick question is, your pilot there, with the water a little cooler this year, we're still kind of crossing our fingers on maybe a mixed season of albacore and bluefin. Is he going to be maybe venturing out into some of the other areas there to maybe spot some incoming albacore?
I don't think we're going to see the albacore this year. I think you said it. It's setting up a lot like last year. I mean, if they're there and they're up, the guys will definitely see them, whether it's the SAC plane or our plane or whatever. But I think we're on a replay of last year, honestly. Like I said, I think the only reason it's not biting better right now is just what you said, that anytime we get any batch of new fish that moves in here, it takes a week, 2 weeks, a moon cycle, whatever, then all of a sudden they start chewing the paint off. And I mean, I know guys have got short-term memory, but we stared at a lot of bluefin last year as well that just we could not get to eat anything. And then weird thing about last year was it seemed like it was 2 or 3 days off, and then 2 days of just they'd eat everything, and then several days off. I would just be ready and prepared to catch these bluefin and enjoy it while it lasts.
One of the cool things about that fish dope plane in the examples yesterday is all of our fishing, for the most part, that we've been catching our bluefin has been south. South, 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 everything south of the border. And your plane went up flying in a completely different direction and found huge areas of fish in U.S. waters completely opposite of where we've been looking. So I would say that's one of the advantages of that fish dope plane is it already has been looking in areas that we haven't been.
Yeah, and I kind of feel like a lot of this bigger fish that we got, especially with the wahoo and the warm water stuff, a lot of this fish I think is taking a different track. It's coming from the west, and I think that's how it sneaks up on us. The fish last year, they'd pop up way up north, and we hadn't really seen them. We saw them south of San Diego, but we didn't see them right off our coast. I just think that this is an unprecedented body of fish that, we don't understand exactly where they're coming
from. And the good
from.
news is, like Tom said, all the seiners are gone. They're done.
Yeah, I hadn't heard that.
The Mexican seiners.
Mm-hmm.
The U.S. seiners, I pretty much guarantee they'll be out there wrapping that stuff too, but we don't have control on that. But the ones in Mexico that we're doing the tuna pens, they're finished, which will help us a lot.
And keep in mind, too, because I hear it every day in the tackle store, the seiners are everywhere. Commercial, old retired commercial shrimp boats that are towing a tuna pen are not wrapping a seiner.
No.
And they do have small bait seiners that guys will see that catch bait and house bait. So, I hear it every day. Oh my God, I was on the 425 and there were 40 seiners out there. Not one of those guys is wrapping fish. They're towing pens around. They're tending to those pens, things like that. I mean, don't get me wrong. We all know what a big seiner looks like. It's not a 50-foot shrimp boat towing a pen is not out there wrapping fish.
Yes, indeed. And Ted Dunn explained that to me yesterday about why they're outside the islands instead of inside where the pens are set up, and that's because it's cleaner water. They're trying to get the fish adapted to it, and then slowly the fish adapt, and then they bring them in.
Ah, okay.
The problem with being at the Coronado Islands, inside there's a lot more current in there, which affects the fishing and being able to feed the fish. They can handle the fish a lot easier when they're outside there.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, and a few years back, I think they had them in there at the islands, and they got a red tide, and they lost a lot of their fish. They tried to get them offshore, and they couldn't do it quick enough, and so that makes sense.
But Ted also said the quality of the fish this year head over heels way above what it was last year.
Nice.
Really?
So it's hang on.
I like it.
Thanks a lot for the call this morning.
Hey, when we come back, we're going to find out who's totally styled out with a complete clothing package from AFCO. More Let's Talk Hookup coming your way on the Mighty 1090.
This is Captain Art Taylor. I'd like to invite you aboard Searcher for your next fishing vacation. Enjoy our air-conditioned cabins and galley, new improved bait tank, RSW system to preserve your catch, delicious food prepared by chefs Charlie and Dan, and a fantastic crew. Our 2017 schedule is available now. Book your reservation online at searchersportfishing.com or call Celia at 619-226-2403. That's 619-226-2403.
Have you been looking for a live bait hook that keeps live bait alive? Look no further than Japan's leading fish hook, Gamakatsu. It's the little things that make the difference, and Gamakatsu hooks drive the point home. With an absolute perfect bend and ideal barbs, your bait swims harder and longer. And when you get bit, Gamakatsu hooks bite back with a vengeance. All hooks are not the same. Go with Gamakatsu for infinite success. Gamakatsu, simply the best. Check Gamakatsu.com. Many years ago, Baja pioneer Bob Van Wormer found the area he called the Great Fish Trap in the East Cape of southern Baja and built what is now regarded as the premier East Cape resorts of Palmas de Cortez and Playa del Sol. Today, following in their father's footsteps, Bob's sons, Bobby, Chucky, and Eddie, have taken Palmas de Cortez and Playa del Sol to new levels. With the largest sport fishing fleet in Mexico, a luxurious spa, and top-of-the-line resort amenities, Van Wormer Resorts have become a destination for travelers worldwide. But for us, Palmas de Cortez and Playa del Sol are just a short 2-hour flight away. No other tropical fishing destination offers the experience and value that you'll find at Palmas de Cortez and Playa del Sol. Now you can plan your Baja fishing vacation quick and easy by visiting VanWormerResorts.com. And when you're ready to book, it's quick and easy. Or simply call 877-777-TUNA for more information. Van Wormer Resorts, the East Cape's finest. No matter the fishing conditions, count on the Seagar family of fluorocarbon leader material to help you catch more fish. Fluoro Premier has a smaller diameter with the highest break strength. Plus, it is super soft. When bites are tough, tie on Fluoro Premier. Blue Label is tough as nails with incredible abrasion resistance and impact strength. And new Pink Label is the choice for tough light conditions, giving you a little more visibility for better line control. Pick up a spool of Seagar at your favorite tackle dealer or visit Seagar.com.
Welcome back to Let's Talk Hookup on the Mighty 1090. We're at the big winner of that full AFCO clothing package, including the Horizon waterproof fleece, the tactical shorts, the performance shirt. It's going to Don in Dana Point. Don, congratulations. Nobody makes gear for the water like AFCO.
Yeah, and that setup there is you're going to love it.
Yeah,
you're going to wear it all the time, for sure. And I know, Ali, you wear it all the time.
We love our AFCO gear, man.
Yeah.
Like, not just the people, but the products are awesome. The shorts, the new jackets, and like every year we're chomping at the bit to see what they've got coming next.
Totally. Something next.
We were just talking about the new rain gear that they made. I mean, that anhydrous stuff is top shelf stuff. I haven't got a chance to put it to the test yet, but I'm really looking forward to it.
Stuff. Well, Yellowtail Shootout. How do we get in the Yellowtail Shootout?
YellowtailShootout.com. We've got a forum actually on BD Outdoors as well. If you want to talk about it, you got questions to ask, whatever. We're easy to find. You can email us through there. You can register right on the website, or you can go to BD and learn about it as well. And on BD, we've got a bunch of the prizes and sponsor info as well.
Yeah, it's great. Local knowledge.
Localknowledge.tv, man. I feel like I got 20 websites to
Yeah.
push. But, yeah, we just had a new episode this morning, and we're doing a new episode every other week.
Okay.
So we'll replay the new one from this week next week, and then it kind of stretches out our season and gives us a little bit more time to film and puts us hopefully into our good season here at home.
And Fish Dope.
FishDope.com, man. Rolling
Sign up.
right along. Yep. If you don't have it and you run a private boat, you really ought to give it a hard look.
Yeah, or sport boats.
That's true. We've got a lot of guys just
knowing
like to stay
what's
on
going
top of the
on.
bite. Yeah, totally.
Sure. Well, thanks, Ollie. Great job.
Great job.
Keep
Thanks
up the
for
good
having
work.
us.
And thank you for listening today. Tomorrow morning, 7 to 9 a.m., Sean Sebring from Fisherman's Processing will be with us. Thanks to Adam, our main man on the other side of the glass, for covering the phones and the board today. And we'll see you right back here tomorrow morning, 7 to 9 a.m., right back here on the Mighty 1090.